What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Dr. Splash, and we are back to the Invasion series. We have Alucard from Hellsing invading DC Comics today. Real quick, in terms of the Invasion series, my server yesterday voted among 30 different verses and cosmologies to add to the Invasion series. Ended up picking 4 more to bring it to 6 total. We're going to be adding the likes of the Horrorverse. We're going to be adding Dragon Ball's cosmology. We're going to be adding Image Comics and everything that's in there. And we're going to be adding IDW. So there's going to be a bunch of different things being invaded soon. So smash the like button if you're looking forward to those different verses being added. And let me know which one you want to see get invaded first. All right. Out of those new 4 ones, which one do you want to see get hit up first? Now, back to Alucard. Let's discuss what he's capable of at his best, who he is, and then we will get into what would happen if he hits up DC. Okay, so first of all, first question I'm going to get asked is, how strong is that version you're using of Alucard? AKA, which version are you using? We will be giving what I consider Alucard from Hellsing his best. So we're going to give him his coffin with basically infinite souls within it. But we're also going to give him the likes of his Schrodinger effect, which is essentially a form of existence I'll get into in a moment. But yes, we're going to give him everything we can possible to spice up his invasion, okay? We run the fair ones on this channel. Now, when it comes to Alucard, spoiler, name means Dracula. He is the Dracula of the Hellsing verse. Essentially, he's their big bad hitman against all things supernatural. Dracula, being the strongest vampire, was also amped by other supernatural methods in order to be essentially the best super weapon to protect mankind against the dark. Okay, so what's he gone up against? Obviously, other undead, other vampires, other demons. He's someone who is extremely skilled, but it's in a way that it's very unorthodox, almost Deadpool-like. He's very hard to predict with the way he'll attack you. Insane regenerative abilities. This allows him to essentially have a troll style of fighting. Like, he doesn't really care if he's taking damage because he knows he can just bounce back. He's able to absorb souls and use powers and other things he absorbs. They're called familiars. For example, the Black Dog can regen, it can spit things out, it can consume people. Absolute hell to fight against something like that. And his other familiars, like I mentioned, his coffin that he unleashed, it was considered like an infinite wave of soldiers and evil that were pulling up to run the fade. Okay, like it's literally like a blood army of endless nature that overruns you. Okay, and he can absorb you and take it from there. Now, we talked about Schrodinger. Schrodinger is one of the most powerful familiars he ever absorbed, and Schrodinger is exactly what you think if you're familiar with any philosophy, but Schrodinger's cat, right? The state of quantum flux, either is or isn't, everywhere or nowhere. You are and you are not, okay? That state of we don't know if you're alive or dead in that moment in time. You could be anything, everything, and nothing all at once. That's the principle of Schrodinger, okay? It gets so extreme within the Hellsing verse in terms of compared to other stuff they do within the cosmology that we saw Schrodinger when he was serving as a soldier. He was able to appear in memories, appear in thoughts, appear in ideas, simply because, like I said, he's everywhere and nowhere all at once, which is incredibly hard to deal with. That's important because obviously Alucard absorbed him, and prior, Alucard would use souls to essentially replenish if he died or he got fucked up. But now he doesn't have that. He has kind of his one state of being. But that's not a downfall like you would think, because it's the Schrodinger state of existence. Essentially, as long as he has self-realization, as long as he knows what he is, as long as he knows he's Alucard, you can't get rid of him. He's going to come back. Okay, that's the principle of Schrodinger. That self-actualization, self-realization allows for everything, nothing, all at once. That's how he maintains his state. Also, he retained his vampire forms and vampire powers as well. And we will be giving him his coffin and the ability to bring other familiars. But like I said, Alucard's most famous for his regen, his unorthodox fighting skill, and style, his insane weaponry and loadout, including not only his familiars, but his famous guns as well. He likes to double roll. All right, he likes to pull up on a bitch. Now, all this is important because I feel like a lot of people underestimate Alucard when he's pulling up. His AP isn't the scariest thing you're going to see from a technical standpoint, but his hacks, absorption, his regeneration, and the familiars, the coffin, all that, it makes him very formidable in other ways than just straight up overpowered attack potency. Okay, so with all that in mind, with us putting Alucard on the table, how does it go if he invades DC Comics, the DC universe? First of all, smash the like button if you have not already. I'm one of the few YouTubers that can have this kind of range, baby. Like in terms of throwing characters from different verses all around. I'm not just a comic guy, okay? So if you love the variation on what we do with these battles and these invasions, definitely show love, as well as you can straight up sponsor an invasion series for half off through the weekend. Now, what a shameless plug. Back on topic. Invading DC's fascinating, right? I made a joke in my server that it would be rap skis if he invaded Marvel. Because what if he absorbed a Marvel human? Like, what if he gets a regular Marvel human soul and just starts beating the shit out of everything? But jokes aside, DC humans are extreme as well. I don't have them in the same tier of bullshit in terms of narrative as Marvel regular humans, but DC humans can be very formidable as well. These are the same beings whose hopes, their souls, they inspire the likes of the foundation of hope, which is Superman. Okay, they actually perform, like literally when he broke through Phantom Stranger, they were providing a psionic divine energy that allowed Superman to do what he needs to do, okay? Like they are special, okay? So just absorbing regular DC humans, I would argue, is dangerous. Low meta humans getting absorbed as well would be interesting. Like I think most of Gotham, like most of the standard rogues are getting probably ran through and absorbed. I think Alucard would be just fine against them. In terms of absorbing them, weaponizing them. Like imagine he gets like a Killer Croc, Clayface, all these characters, starts weaponizing them as familiars. That'd be sick. Now here's where it gets tricky, right? Alucard's one of those where he doesn't have crazy scaling, like superbly outlandish scaling in terms of AP. So we're not going to see him draw, in my opinion, a crazy amount of attention at first in terms of like, oh, this is a dark side tier threat. This is a crisis event. This is someone that's going to destroy the planet. That's not really like how he will be perceived. That's not really how he operates either. So when he drops down and he starts putting in work, I do think he's going to absorb some of the low level characters at first and even make them familiars if he so chooses. Now, this is where it gets sticky. He will be effective. He'll be putting in work on the low levels, like Batman's rogues for the most part. Now, a Poison Ivy and a Solomon Grundy on the wrong date could really fuck his life up. Deathstroke would be interesting, but I don't think Deathstroke gets rid of him, especially not in the first encounter. Batman in the first encounter wouldn't be able to permanently put him down either. He would be... I don't think Alucard would be able to get rid of Batman or Deathstroke. I think both of those characters would either get out of there or call in their contingencies they need. But Deathstroke's been rolling around with stuff that can solo the Titans, including Raven, and his armor to withstand Superman. Like, he's kind of broken. Like, I'm not too worried about him. But yeah, those tiers, like the highest of tiers in Gotham, and Etrigan as well, like they'd be fine. Etrigan beats Alucard. Like straight up, if he runs an Etrigan would beat the shit out of Alucard. But where it gets tricky, where I think he gets in a lot of trouble, is when the occult characters get involved, right? When they start finding out about, oh, there's like this weird quantum flux type character that seems to be a king of vampires. Let's get in the mix, okay? So that's my first thought in terms of who's going to be most effective in response first and who's actually going to get it done. It would probably be the Justice League Dark, Constantine, a Zatanna, Madame Xanadu if she saw him, GG's, like these characters, Swamp Thing, those tiers. Deadman's possessed higher tier characters than what Schrodinger would scale to, so it'd be interesting to see Deadman interact with the familiars and Alucard, but the other Justice League Dark, like I think they'd be comfortable in the pocket with Alucard, especially someone like Constantine and Zatanna. they're gonna do him dirty. The best way, in my opinion, to approach this though, if they start figuring out how he operates as some of the higher tier characters, like a Constantine Zatanna, or maybe like, because you know, there's also going to be something you got to think about too, the Amanda Wallers of the world, okay? They're going to see a weapon like, they're going to see a character like that, and they're going to be like, yo, what if he was on the Suicide Squad? What if we found a way to contain him? So there's going to be a lot of characters getting involved for a multitude of reasons. Either taking out this new threat, capturing the new threat, attempting to do so to weaponize it, or trying to get it to join like their evil ways, like a Felix Faust would, okay? So at that point, it's really interesting to say how it would play out for Alucard after he's knocked off a few people, started absorbing familiars, and making some noise on DC's Earth. I think it's going to come down to a couple things. Either the Justice League Dark members like Constantine Zatanna catch him and pack him up. Batman calls in the big dogs to come handle him. If he landed, obviously, if he like landed in Metropolis, Superman tier characters are going to handle him. He lands in Flash's city, Big Wally's city. It's up. It's bad. Like Wally's doing him super dirty. He lands in Atlantis, Aquaman's on his ass. Okay, so there are several characters that put him in a bag, and I think they would call in like a Batman would call in like a Manhunter, because with the quantum flux, with that state of actualization, and obviously so, the higher tier characters in intelligence like Batman, the Luthors, the Terrifics, easily those characters would figure out how something like Alucard works. Also, they can just straight up call in characters that can read his soul, that have high enough tier soul and mind hacks to understand and get a read on what Alucard is and what Schrodinger is. So at that point, once they figure out how to deal with him, when they get the high enough tier telepath that can erase his self-actualization, his self-realization, like they make him forget what he is, and he's Schrodinger and he's Alucard, all these things, those like a Grodd could do it, a Martian Manhunter could do it. The higher tier telepaths pretty comfortably get that done, okay? And then the occult-like characters who can hack the soul, mind hack, Zatanna's even doing stuff on a narrative like comic book level these days. Those tier characters get it. They can seal him away. They can outright strip him of what he is. They can banish him. They can destroy him on a conceptual level. They can destroy his self-actualization. All these things. So ultimately, I think he has fun at first. I think he puts in work at first. But the way he operates, the way he exists, like his existence, the Schrodinger purpose, all that, it's going to be too interesting to too many high tier characters and too many capable characters within DC that either Waller's going to get the Suicide Squad on his ass to try to contain him, which he's going to get packed up by the Suicide Squad and Waller. Like even Flash is afraid to run up on Waller. Okay, that bitch is crazy. She's beat the Trigon, all that. That's one of my goats. And then you have Batman assembling, you know, a perfect squad to counter him. He recently revealed like he's been keeping Batmite in his mind to protect him. I'm just saying that to say, like, I do think Batman would call in contingencies right away. Justice League Dark easily would get involved. Like I said, a lot of ways he's getting packed up eventually, but I think he does better than people think, and I think he is underestimated. He would be no joke in DC. It would be very interesting to see what they end up doing with him if they capture him. It's basically going to come down to the three parties I just named. Who gets to him first? The telepaths and the Batman preppers that just erase his self-actualization. Will the villains get to him that are strong enough to contain him and weaponize him? Like, could a Luthor get to him easily, contain him, all that? And then you have the occult. Do they show up and just get rid of him? Does Waller show up, put him on the Suicide Squad? One of those major parties, they're going to be the reason Alucard ends up either on a t-shirt, erased, or in service. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Realistically, how do you think an Alucard invasion on DC's Earth plays out? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know who you want to see next on the Invasion series. And most importantly, out of the 4 new verses I named that I will be adding to the series, which excites you the most? Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your host, Dr. Splash. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.